Hi, welcome to the Little Birdie magazine Pink Chair Chats. Today I have Natalie Kruss from Angel Paws, and we're just going to have a little bit of a chat about who Angel Paws are, what you do, and where you are in so much as, looking for support. So you've recently started with Angel Paws, haven't you, Natalie?
Yes, June this year actually is where I first started. Just saw the application, I went, oh, why not?
You like dogs?
I do. I've actually been with Angel Paws since about 2013, just volunteering and fostering wherever I could. Always been a big animal lover. My whole life we've always had cats and dogs and always rescuing something.
So what did Angel Paws, you're not just dogs, are you?
Dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Although we have once had a goat.
Oh really? I grew up with a pet goat. They are painful.
Yeah, they can be. I've had friends that
they
have
eat
them.
everything.
Good disposal units.
They are. Mine thought it was a dog. We might introduce Aggie while we're here too. So Aggie is one of the beautiful dogs from Angel Paws that you will be rehoming soon.
Aggie is 6.5 years old. She has just been spayed. She will be listed for adoption very, very soon.
Yeah.
She does need a confident handler. She's had a bit of a rough life. I won't go into all the details, but what I will say is she takes a bit of time to adjust.
So she's quite comfortable here.
She's got treats, she's happy.
Must be the energy in here, and the
definitely.
treats.
She's one of the many hard cases. One of the missions of Angel Paws is we literally give a second chance to the animals who ordinarily would be rejected.
Yeah.
And that was originally where it started from. The hard cases, the dogs nobody wants, the ones that aren't pretty enough, the ones that aren't smart enough, the ones that are a little too rough.
She's not the naturally pretty type, is she?
I call her a junkyard dog, honestly, I do. She's just got that look about her.
Ugly but pretty at the same time.
She really does have a sweet nature, and she doesn't realise she is as big as she is. She likes to climb up and just flops on my chest, and it's like, hang on, my feet are still on the floor. Why is this? So she tries to climb all the way up for a cuddle. And
she has a beautiful smile.
She does. She has
Which
such
is
a
lovely.
sweet face.
And she's looking for those treats again.
She is.
She knows
She's
where
such
they
a
are.
good girl. Aggie, sit. Gentle.
And she is so well behaved. And we were just saying, she cleans up after herself far better than my son does in his bedroom.
My kids as well, so I'm very pleased to see that. She's been a bit of work. She did start quite stressed when she first had her puppies taken away, but they've all been adopted. It's just a sad circumstance that she came from, but she's resilient, like many of the hard cases are, and she's almost ready for a new home.
So explain to me too, so traditionally you guys haven't had kennels that you would use. You used to foster care them out?
We do all our foster care in-home, so volunteers, foster carers for cats.
I met one yesterday. Cutest dog. Sue from the Surf Lifesaving had little Allie.
Yep.
The little...
We've got so many. I struggle to remember some of them. I feel so bad that I don't remember all of them. If I saw it, I might remember.
She was 11-month-old little cross puppy. Very cute. Very, very, very sweet and cute. But like as you said, all dogs need a home. But you're about to embark on some new premises?
Yes, we're very excited. It used to be boarding kennels in the beginning. Volunteers and staff have just worked tirelessly to strip it back. We've had, I can't even tell you how many people have been working on this. There are posts on our Facebook page that have thanked the workers. So much effort has gone into cleaning it and getting it ready so that we can start moving in and make it our home base.
So some of that, the idea of that is to create some sustainable funding for Angel Paws as well, isn't it?
So yes, there will be an amount of boarding that is like we have our cattery at the moment, where people pay for their animals to be boarded for a length of time where they have to, for whatever reasons, and that just generates a sustainable income for us. That's what we're looking to do down the track as well. So if we can get sponsorships, that's another way we can work with it. We do have a lot of big plans, which so far everything's up in the air because we are doing such a big restructuring for everything we want to do, all our fundraising, all our efforts for next year, all our long-term goals, is just getting completely revamped at the moment.
Yep, so I guess one of the big things at the moment is if people want to donate, if they see that there's a good purpose in what Angel Paws do in rehoming dogs, and especially the dogs that nobody else wants, to contact you guys, because you'll happily take donations.
Absolutely.
And also if you're looking to volunteer, are you still looking for volunteers at the moment?
We're always looking for volunteers. It's just a matter, at the moment, we're still trying to make sure everyone's got a place and got something they can do. Once again, that's also in the process of being restructured so that we can actually, we have amazing volunteers and they show up and give 110%, which I know mathematically it doesn't work.
No,
but they give so much effort and so much of their time, and they are so generous with everything, their energy. We cannot thank them enough, but we still want to be able to make sure they're not just used. We want to be able to make sure they are able to be a part of what we do and feel like they're actually doing something.
Yeah.
We couldn't run this without our volunteers.
Yeah.
It's very intense. It's more than just playing with puppies and kittens. There is donation collecting, there is talking to people, there is media, there is communications in a big way. There is so much behind the scenes, as well as
and even
cleaning up.
coordinating volunteers is a big task. It's
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I'm
great
learning.
to have the help, but it's a big task. She's licking my leg, but that's okay. She likes me. That's good.
She does. She's letting you know that she's here. She's guarding you.
She's probably licked where my dog licked this morning, actually. But, yeah. So in what way? So it's not easy running a charity. It's
Not at all.
There's a lot of legislation around it. There's a lot of
Yes.
governance around it.
Yeah. There's to go into it is more than what we could do in the sitting,
that's
and
okay.
I've looked at a lot of it, and it is very in depth. So.
But you guys have been around for a long time, haven't you?
2009 it was
Yep.
originally created. By 2014 we had committee really pulling it all together.
And now you have, what, 2 or 3 full-time staff?
We have 3 full-time staff.
And a board?
A committee, yes.
Committee?
Our committee runs the show, our staff work everything, because what we do is, it's too much to just be a volunteer position.
Sure.
Myself, I do the fundraising and volunteer coordination, so that's exactly as it sounds.
That's huge on its own.
It really is. To actually apply for the job, I was like, oh, this will be, I love doing parties, I love this fun stuff, and it's so much more intense. But we have an amazing community. There's so many people in town that just come out and support us and help us, and we've had people that have just, at information days, we've had people walk up and go, here's $50, or they hand us our key card to do on the money machine, and they go, just this amount, thanks. I'm like, okay, would you like to purchase? And they're like, no, just a donation. And it's,
Oh, that's beautiful.
oh my gosh, I can't even, it's overwhelming how supportive so many people have been.
Do you take donations of product and things like that
We
too?
do take food, litter, cats, kittens, dogs and puppies use a lot of stuff. Especially all the cat litter we go through, it's pretty intense.
It's nothing like a smelly cat litter tray though, is
Not
there?
at all. Well, we changed at the cattery, we change all the litter. Anywhere we've got the cats, they're changed daily and on a regular basis. So
I'm trying to
keep it
teach
clean.
my 15-year-old daughter to do that with her cat.
Good luck.
I
That's all I can say. I have to brag, I have 2 children who tend to help a lot more with the animals than they do with their room cleaning. So
it's a product of our lifestyle, isn't it?
absolutely. So all 3 of my kids, my eldest is an adult herself, so all 3 of my kids have all been a part of Angel Paws in some capacity. So they have had the benefit of seeing firsthand what's necessary to go into animal care. And I think it's a great thing for all kids to get a part of. We've got school students, so many school students.
Well, I did see you the other day at Belgian Gardens School
Absolutely, that was
showing the kids in vacation care.
yeah, that was a visit with the kids. So starting as little as that, little as preschoolers can learn how to look after their animals and how to be good community members. And
Yeah. She's searching for, she knows where the bag is. I
Yes. More treats. You have to be a good girl. Sit.
So you guys are, so you're at the moment, you're focusing on the new facilities.
Yes.
And next year you'll be planning a lot of fundraising events and looking for support.
Well, we've already started now. So we have our gala events that we want to bring to light next year. I can't give too much information because nothing is set just yet, but that will be released as soon as we can. But yes, we're always looking for sponsorship, for donations that we can auction. Yep. We've had a local florist, we had a local florist that donated not only money throughout an event they held, but then they brought us a beautiful gift basket to raffle off, which is beautiful. Just stunning. Like once again, it's just that support is overwhelmingly amazing and appreciated.
So with Christmas coming up, well, how many dogs do you usually have at any time? Like, or dogs and cats? How many animals? I believe
we've got about roughly 200 animals, cats and dogs in care. We've just had an influx of kittens and puppies. We get a lot of surrenders due to the housing crisis situation. So
yeah, we were talking about that too, because my previous understanding was that around or post-Christmas a lot of animals tended to be surrendered. But you're finding that now with the housing crisis it's fairly consistent, the numbers are similar, it just becomes a little more obvious at Christmas time.
Yeah, because we're all looking, come Christmas time, we're all looking for, I guess our hearts are bigger, our emotions are more switched on, we're not distracted by work, we're focused and relaxed over the holidays. So then we start to see all these changes, we take notice of them. And I guess in the past it's been used as a media grab, I guess, to get people's attention, say, hey, look. Whereas what we have found within our organisation is pretty consistent year round. We are always having an influx of animals, especially when people, well-meaning, but they find kittens and they think the mothers abandoned them because they're strays on the street. And quite often there's just mums run for hiding and the kittens, she's coming back for the kittens. So it's a hard situation. They've just taken away a litter of kittens that now need mum's care before she's ready to give them up.
So at Christmas time, I'm assuming you guys will be recommending people look at rehoming a pet rather than looking for a new puppy?
I think I'd be more recommending think harder before you adopt. It's just as important to know whether or not you can take on an animal before you actually have to rehome it. It's all well and good to go, hey, let's give the kids a puppy for Christmas, but you've got to be able to put all that time in. Same for a kitten. If you don't spend enough time with it, it's not just going to go on pause when you go to work or when the kids go to school. It doesn't happen that way.
No, it doesn't.
But we would strongly recommend think and plan out. Do we have the finances? Do we have the time? Do we have the space? Do we have everything we need to give this animal the best quality of life? If they can't give a long-term care for an animal, it is possible to come along and say, hey, we would like to foster. This is our situation. You know, sometimes we've just got an older dog that just needs a yard that's safe and somebody to feed them and love them. And that's how fostering works, is you take an animal into your home, you give them the love, you show them what it's like to be part of a family, and then the right family comes along, adopts the animal, cats, dogs, puppies, kittens, however it is, and they get the benefit of being rehomed, and then you've got a space either to take on more or you can make the decision, do we really want to have a long-term animal?
So how do people find the dogs for adoption if they're fostered into homes?
It's listed on our webpage as well as our Facebook page, so we advertise them. We also have adoption days, second Saturday of the month at our...
And how do they work? Do you take the animals?
We take the puppies and the cats and kittens because the big dogs get a bit noisy. So we have the puppies, they get very noisy on their own. And we have these adoptions at either Petstock or up at our HQ in Kelso. And from there, people come and they get to meet them, they spend a little bit of time with them and they decide, do we want this one, do we want that one? Have a chat with, quite often the foster carers stay, so they can talk to the foster carer and get to know them. And from there, they can make an appointment and possibly visit the foster carer's house and then meet the animal again, or sometimes they get adopted from the actual adoption day. And we work it from there. So
fantastic. And just lastly, I mean, on the positive side of owning a pet dog, I have to say, coming up to Townsville, I was so impressed with all the facilities available for dogs.
Yeah.
The cafes, the beaches, the parks.
It's amazing.
And the number of people you run into walking their dogs wherever you are, but along the Strand especially, I was pretty sure, I just remember seeing just this plethora of dogs everywhere, which impressed me because Townsville's an outdoor city, so that idea that you and your pet can, for a lot of people, their dogs are their family.
Yep, absolutely.
And you can actually contribute, like even sitting in a cafe and have your dog with you while you're sitting in a cafe. If they're well behaved.
There's quite a few. The main one that springs to mind though is the newest one, Oasis. They've actually set up an area where you can go and take your dog as well as have coffee. Oasis Veterans Centre.
Oh, that's a great place.
I know of a few other places, and I'm pretty sure
the
they're
Dirty Boots Cafe.
Yes, Dirty Boots Cafe. That's the one.
Yes.
And there's quite a number of other cafes that have popped up. I think it's...
Yeah, I think we're going to create a list for everybody.
Yeah,
so
there's also...
Natalie's going to help me create the list of all the places we're aware of that actually allow you to take your dog along. I know even the Shore House, underneath the Shore House.
Yes.
But there's so many. There's a whole stack of cafes along the Strand that let you
a quick Google search will give you everything.
And we're going to do that for everybody, and so that you actually have an idea. So if you're thinking of rehoming a pet, if you're thinking of being a foster carer, you can know some of the places and things you can do with them. I mean, I know I take my dogs down to the off-leash beach at Rose Bay regularly. So probably not regularly enough for them, they love it down there. But that idea that there are lots and lots of places here too for you to be outdoors. Your dog doesn't have to stay in the backyard with you, it can come out with you to do lots of things as well.
And Bunnings is always a win.
Bunnings is a win. And now, just on that too, the other thing I was about to say was that, as long as they're well behaved enough.
Yes.
And I can actually say Aggie has been just incredible. We're actually in a building, we're at the Regis building in Northtown. And she has come in here, she's come through the offices, she's come into our little studio, and cruise she has. And you suggested that she had behavioural issues initially, but you guys have obviously worked tremendously with her to do that. So we might throw in some dog trainers' names as well, or places where people can do some training into that list that we include. Because that's an important part of having a dog as part of your family life too, that you're as trained as what the dog is.
Absolutely. We've got some good trainers around town. There's also like agility clubs and activities. So it is becoming more. So it's
Now, am I lying if I say that I think that per capita we have more dogs in Townsville as pets than anywhere else in Australia?
We can say that. We might have to do the
lying.
research, but we could say
it feels that way. That somewhere. Don't fact check it. We'll just accept it.
But you can also check the Townsville City website. They've got a list of off-leash places and dog-friendly places that you can take.
As well.
Which I personally love to take my dogs up to one of the parks in the morning when everyone else is gone and run a few laps. I also have a staffy at home. He does 5 laps and that's him done. He doesn't want to go anywhere for another couple of days. So
my dog thinks she wants to walk along the beach and we get halfway and it used to be so much better when she was younger. But look, Natalie, thank you so much for coming in, and Aggie, thank you for coming in. You look very relaxed down there.
Thank you for having us.
That's okay. And look, we'll keep in touch too, so that when your events come up, we can let everybody know as well.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Angel Paws, if you want to be a carer, if you would like to donate. With charities, money's always king, or food, definitely. Or anything else that you can donate to help them out, please do. They do wonderful things for rehoming the dogs that other people aren't keen on keeping. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
No worries.